To the young men and their families in attendance, our congratulations on an outstanding achievement and best wishes on what promises to be a memorable time for all. The first pick in the 2000 NHL entry draft belongs to the New York Islanders.
With much anticipation, hope, and excitement, the New York Islanders are picking Rick DiPietro, a goaltender from Boston University, as a #1 pick.
18-year-old Rick DiPietro from Winthrop, Massachusetts, who opted into this draft at the 11th hour, goes right to the top.
With the first selection in the 2001 NHL entry draft, the Atlanta Thrashers are pleased to select from the Russian Division I Spartak Moscow, Ilya Kovalchuk.
And so the suspense ends. Ilya Kovalchuk, obviously pleased, taken first overall, becoming the first ever Russian-born player to be selected as the top pick in the National Hockey League entry draft.
Before we get started, I have a trade to announce. Florida trades their first-round pick, #1 overall, in the 2002 entry draft to Columbus.
With the #1 selection in the draft, we select from the London Knights, Rick Nash.
There it is, Rick Nash, first overall in 2002. Native of Brampton, Ontario, a two-time 30-goal scorer in the Ontario Hockey League. He's going to bring size, he's going to bring determination, and Bob talked about his poise, an extremely poised player.
And what better way to start than with a trade of the first pick in the draft? The Florida Panthers trade their first-round pick in this year's draft to the Pittsburgh Penguins.
With our first pick this year, we'd like to select Cape Breton Screaming Eagles goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury.
And there it is. Fleury goes first overall. The young man who was the outstanding goaltender and MVP of the World Junior Hockey Championship for Canada in Halifax, where he turned in one of the great performances we've seen there. And Bob, this is the goaltender people talk about as being a legitimate franchise player.
Well, he's got a great personality, and that part of that personality is that he loves the big moment. He loves the pressure, and we certainly saw that in Halifax.
With the first selection, 2004 NHL entry draft, Washington Capitals are pleased to select Alexander Ovechkin.
Not like there was ever any doubt.
Absolutely not. A great big smile and a great big hug from his bear of a father, Michael, his mother Tatiana. Alexander Ovechkin, not only is this guy a winning hockey player, he's got a winning personality, and that's one of the things that the Washington Capitals really like about him.
That's right, he's got a complete game. He's a 200-foot player. He plays on every part of the ice surface. He's reliable defensively. He's got a little bit of truculence and belligerence in his game. He doesn't mind when it gets rough, and he's got skill.
It's a very, very, very lucky day for our organization, our city, and our fans worldwide. Pittsburgh Penguins select from Rimouski in Quebec Major Junior League, Sidney Crosby.
Comes his dad, Troy, who was a draft pick himself of the Montreal Canadiens. So Sidney Crosby, the two-time Canadian Hockey League Player of the Year, is the first overall pick and is on his way to the NHL.
And the biggest thing is he likes to play the game hard. He plays his best hockey when he's in traffic. He's great off the rush and he can make things happen with dynamic speed. But in the heavy going in front of the net and down low in the corner, he excels. And even though he's not a big guy, he's extremely tenacious, and that's going to be something the Pittsburgh Penguins really welcome.
St. Louis Blues select from U.S. National Team Development Program defenseman Erik Johnson.
The first defenseman to go first overall since Chris Phillips back in 1996.
And this guy has got it all.
This is something special. This is a unique package. It doesn't come along very often. And quite frankly, Bob McGuire, I think he's going to probably turn pro.
This historic pick, the first time ever the Chicago Blackhawks have had the first pick, and we proudly select from the London Knights, the Ontario Hockey League, Patrick Kane.
This is the second straight year that an American-born player goes first overall. It's the first time that's ever happened. Erik Johnson went first overall to the St. Louis Blues last year, and Bob, Patrick Kane led the Ontario Hockey League in regular season and playoff scoring as an 18-year-old.
The first selection in the 2008 National Hockey League entry draft belongs to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
From the Sarnia Sting, Steven Stamkos.
58 goals in 61 regular season games for Sarnia.
You know what? It's not even about the numbers with Steven Stamkos. It's about his level of excellence. He's an unbelievable leader. He's a motivated guy. He's a workoutaholic. Brings the whole package. This guy's the real deal. Tampa Bay, buckle up.
Bonjour. And with the first overall pick, the New York Islanders select John Tavares.
He has waited 5 years at least since he was first identified as a potential first overall pick in the 09 draft. John Tavares born just days after the cutoff that would have allowed him to become a first rounder in 2008. But now Tavares is the answer to the Islander question.
This is the right guy at the right time for a team that needs an identity.
With the historic first selection in the National Hockey League Draft 2010 from the Windsor Spitfires, Taylor Hall.
It was him all along.
All I can tell you is this. He's the best player today on that draft floor.
He is arguably the most decorated player in the history of major junior hockey.
He's also, though, the most ready of this draft class to play in the National Hockey League. He will not be back in Windsor. He will be on the Edmonton Oilers roster next year. I don't think there's any question about that.
The Edmonton Oilers are so proud to select from the Red Deer Rebels, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
So make that 5 first picks in a row for Edmonton.
He's a quiet and unassuming kid off the ice, but he's a dynamic difference maker on the ice. The number one strength that he's got, aside from his vision, is his ability to go into heavy traffic and, like Pavel Datsyuk, be strong on the puck and come out with it.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, an elite offensive force.
The Edmonton Oilers are so proud to select from the Sarnia Sting, Nail Yakupov.
They take the forward, Pierre, and they take a guy who put up Stamkosian-like numbers for Sarnia.
Well, 65 games played, 49 goals, 52 assists, 101 points for Nail Yakupov.
Now, by the way, he's also a winger. So the Oilers, if they wanted to, could put together an unprecedented number one line of number ones. Nugent-Hopkins is there. You throw Taylor Hall and Nail Yakupov on the same line, it's not out of the question.
Colorado Avalanche are proud to select with our first pick from the Halifax Mooseheads, Nathan McKinnon.
You know what's interesting about him? He can handle pressure. First overall in the Quebec Major Junior League draft, first overall in the NHL entry draft. He's been a highly recruited player ever since he went to Shattuck St. Mary's in Minnesota.
He told us at the World Junior Championship he was a hunter on the forecheck. He'd like to get in and get on the body. If there's a critique, it's that he's a shoot-first centerman. I think of Jeremy Roenick, who was a shoot-first centerman. He was a hunter on the forecheck. McKinnon's a big game player.
We proudly select with the first pick overall in the 2014 NHL Draft from the Ontario Hockey League, Aaron Ekblad.
So he had to wait a few seconds. When you've been as good as he's been for as long as he's been, that's nothing.
He's an exceptional player, literally. One of the things about Aaron Ekblad, everything he does, he puts an exclamation point on it. That can be with a big body check. That can be territorially in front of the net. Whatever he does it firmly.
Looks like Edmonton's not going to call a timeout here, Darren. I think they know what they want.
The Edmonton Oilers would like to select with their first pick from the Erie Otters, Connor McDavid.
And what makes him exceptional? I mean, people are obviously extremely excited in Edmonton, but what makes Connor McDavid exceptional? First three steps. They have not seen a player like this, maybe ever, who has those first three steps and can accelerate and with control of the puck, Mike, and that really makes him stand aside.
Toronto proud to announce from Zurich, Men's League Switzerland, from U.S. program, Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews embracing his family and friends, Maple Leafs fans cheering. So from the desert Southwest, as you hear the chants of USA in here, to Zurich, Switzerland, to the hockey hotbed of Toronto, Matthews, the 7th American to be taken with the top overall pick in the NHL draft.
With our first selection in the 2017 entry draft, the New Jersey Devils are proud to welcome from the Halifax Mooseheads, Nico Hischier.
So just after 1 a.m. in Nader, Switzerland, a town of around 8,000 people, which is located just north of the Italian border, but you got to believe that they are awake and they are no doubt celebrating right now. You see Hischier hugging his family, emotional moment. Hischier has just become the first Swiss-born player to go number 1 overall in the NHL draft.
On behalf of our great fans in Western New York, the Buffalo Sabres are proud to select Frölunda defenseman Rasmus Dahlin.
Rasmus Dahlin, says his favorite players, Erik Karlsson and Peter Forsberg. Erik Karlsson says Dahlin's, quote, much better than he was at that same age. Rasmus Dahlin, the first overall pick in the 2018 NHL Draft.
This kid, he's humble, he's focused. I mean, the very first time he was at an actual hockey league game was the Stanley Cup Finals. So in many ways, he's as green as the grass, except when you put him on the ice.
With the first pick overall, the New Jersey Devils are proud to select from the U.S. program, Jack Hughes.
The vision, the anticipation, the ability to work right off the stick handle and either shoot the puck or make a great pass, does everything at high speed. I love what this young player brings to the table, and there's no doubt he's the most dynamic player available. And as expected, New Jersey, they dragged it out a little bit, added a bit of drama, but Hughes is finally there.
He's super dynamic, and he's going to step right into the National Hockey League. Good pick by the New Jersey Devils. He was the consensus #1 pick right from the start. Kakko made it interesting, but Jack Hughes is the #1.
The first selection in the 2020 NHL Draft will be made by New York Rangers General Manager Jeff Gorton.
With the first pick in the 2020 NHL Draft, the New York Rangers are proud to select from the Rimouski Oceanic, Alexis Lafreniere.
I think along with the skills is competitiveness. I think if you go back to the World Junior, if you follow him in Rimouski, right away you can see that he has the kind of talent that we're all looking for, but he also drags everybody in the battle with him. We're all looking for a player like that.
Congratulations on winning the #1 pick in this year's draft.
From the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, surrounded by a fair number of fans, Kevin Adams, the Sabres GM, will make the first pick.
On behalf of the Buffalo Sabres and all of our great fans, we are proud to select from the University of Michigan, Owen Power.
Not a surprise, 6'6" tall. You can see the height right there. Great head of hair. You're seeing a tall player who doesn't overexert himself physically, doesn't initiate the physicality, yet uses his body effectively to defend. So when you think about Hedman, he's a really difficult player to play against now, but you don't think of him like Shea Weber, that he's going to run you through the end boards. And I think Owen Power is going to grow into that.
Avec notre premier choix au repêchage, with our first pick in the 2022 NHL Draft, les Canadiens de Montréal sont fiers de repêcher from the Slovakian national team and TPS Turku, Juraj Slafkovsky.
A beautiful moment for Juraj Slafkovsky and his family, the Olympic MVP, and maybe cemented his #1 overall pick with 2 goals in the bronze medal game versus Sweden, the highest picked Slovakian ever.
And with the first overall selection in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select from the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League, Connor Bedard.
The dream is now a reality. He's a finisher. He's going to pump in eventually 40, 50, 60, maybe 70 goals in his career. But like Sidney Crosby, he's a guy you build a franchise around.
He is. This guy is, look, he's had all eyes on him forever. I mean, I feel like we've known about Connor Bedard for the last 5, 6, 7 years we've heard about him. And the amount of pressure that's on a kid like that in a country like Canada where hockey is everything, and for him to deliver and be at this moment in his life where he delivers as being the first overall pick, and it looks like he's just scratching the surface. That's the scary part.
Welcome to the 2024 Upper Deck NHL Draft at Sensational Sphere.
With the first overall selection in the 2024 NHL Draft, the San Jose Sharks are very proud to select from Boston University, Macklin Celebrini.
And this is a guy that's going to change your whole franchise. He's Crosby-esque in terms of the two-way effort, the two-way game. This is a special player, and this is a great moment for the Sharks organization and Mike Grier.
With the first overall selection in the 2025 NHL Draft, the New York Islanders are proud to select from the Erie Otters, Matthew Schaefer.
He's a face of the franchise type of player, and the support from his family who was able to be here with him. I mean, those tears I just saw in his father, that's an image that's going to stick with me for a really long time.
High IQ, high skill. He's got it all. What a moment. He kissed the ribbon on his sweater and he just lost it.
It's a great day in the Islander organization. Your parents should be extremely proud of you. I know your mom's proud of you. So we can't wait to see you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, taking a chance on me. Promise I won't disappoint, but especially just want to say to my mom and all my family and friends, thanks for everything, but especially you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it.